Hello, another edition of Less Kevin, More Tech from UTECIT.com. Right, Joe?
Right.
So we got some great guests in here, Les.
Yes.
Is that
What is
you
up?
behind that goatee?
Yep, this is it. This is the new look.
The new look
Yep.
with new glasses, but we've got Mean Joe Green that's sitting in here to help us do this podcast today because our guest came to us.
How did you
through
snag
a connection
a guest like?
Joe Green?
I know, that's big.
Yeah. So his buddy first introduced us. Back how long ago, Joe? Been a few years.
2013? Yeah.
Okay,
10 years?
we're gonna
About
go
10 years?
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
Steve Nagrant
Wow.
used to be with the Red Wings when we met him, right?
Yep.
And now he's with Snag Business.
Yes.
So everybody
He is
knows
Snag Business.
He is
I
Snag
am
Business.
Snag Business.
He is Snag Business.
Right.
Everybody knows the Red Wings. Everybody knows your work from the PGA Tour and other stuff. But tell us about Snag Business.
Yeah. So just give a quick little background about my career history.
Now we asked about Snag Business. We could care less about your career. We're not worried about
it's
you,
how
Steve.
Snag Business came to be, the origin story of Snag Business, right? So I started off with the Red Wings
It's like
in
a
2012.
superhero movie.
Exactly.
You
right?
got to have an origin story.
Right.
This guy's going to be a politician. You ask him a question, he gives you a different answer, right?
Talking about Joe.
But yeah, so back in 2012, I started working in the sponsorship department for the Red Wings as a sales guy. You guys were one of my clients, tried to bring you in and, do some trade deals with some smart screens at the time, I believe. And then as, the years went on and we started opening up Little Caesars Arena, planning for that development and construction, I convinced the front office to create a new strategy position for me, move me from sales to marketing strategy to work on all of the partnerships at Little Caesars Arena. So that gave me the ability to, I did things like put together the naming rights deal for Little Caesars. That big partnership, create all the inventory, package everything together, create the sales pitch and the deck, and help present that to ownership. So by the time I left the Wings, we had closed, $325 million in sponsorships that I've been a part of over that 10-year period, or 8-year period with the Wings. And then the PGA Tour came to town, and there was an opportunity for me to move on to help launch the Rocket Mortgage Classic as the director of strategy. Did that for a year. We won 3 PGA Tour awards. Everything was going great, and then COVID happened. So I was one of the highest paid people in the office and one of the first people to get laid off. So that is the origin story of Snag Business, because that gave me the opportunity to go out on my own, start my own marketing agency. And since then, I run Snag Business for myself, got a couple clients going really well. And then one of my clients actually turned into more of a full-time opportunity where I'm currently the chief marketing officer for a software startup based in Austin, Texas. Nothing to do with sports, but still marketing and tech, focused. It's, running a SaaS startup. It's a crazy world. Yeah. So now, get to work from home and, just work for myself.
So hold on a second. So working from home's a benefit?
Well, I believe so.
Oh.
When you have, I have a newborn son at home, so those that time with a crying baby, in the room, I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Hey, prior to the origin story,
yes.
How did, the two of you guys, so you just met up trying to do a sponsorship.
Restroom, roadside rest.
I was wondering what was going on here.
He's actually a family friend of the best man at my wedding. So
really?
That's how, just over the years,
And a former UTEC employee, Brent Kemster.
Yes. I don't know, is his name taboo around here? I
No.
don't know if,
No, Brent's a good guy.
Oh, Brent's a good guy. Okay, then yes, Brent Kemster, your former employee. Mm-hmm. That's how I know Joe. So we go back years, even before,
Wow, okay. And you admit it.
Yeah.
We've had some good times. We showed the youngins how to do it.
Yeah.
So this is kind
You
of
got pictures to prove it.
Yeah, going on 20 years now, Joe, I think, something like that.
So this is kind of cool. The company's name is
Snag Business.
And it comes from
My name.
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little, double entendre there. So Snag Business, Steve Nagrant is my name.
Yep.
So Steve Nagrant, my nickname Snag. And
Is that your nickname actually?
Yes.
Or?
It
Okay,
is.
prior
Yeah,
to the company.
Prior to the company. So,
Really?
But my marketing firm helps companies grow more business, snag more business. So
Really? Okay.
That's where Snag Business comes from. Yes.
I like it.
Yeah. So we were talking earlier, Joe, that he uses a similar strategy with his customers. He says, I need more green. Buy for me.
That's what I do.
You help people print more
working.
green.
Well, that explains it. Steve said he's closed over 100 deals for $340 million, and Joe sold 100 copiers in his lifetime.
That was last month for Joe.
Yeah. Light work.
So,
See, we brought you in here just to pick on you because it's your buddy.
That's
you know?
okay.
Are you feeling it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
So Kev, you and
I would expect nothing less.
you and Steve, you've talked about this. So we got the book, right?
Yes.
And Kevin has an autographed copy,
He does.
right?
Mm-hmm. So,
So
Joe?
and
So is
Joe's
Joe.
got that's awesome.
And Les will hook you up before I leave.
Dang, I'm hitting the big time.
So,
Yeah,
tell
talk
us
to us
about
about
this.
this.
It's sponsorship or
Sponsorship.
sponsorship. Johnny,
Yeah.
I love it, man.
Right?
So
You ship your pants, Johnny?
yeah, working in sports for about a decade, in my 20s, and being on the sponsorship side, I was just very fortunate to be put in a position where I mean, most of the people in sports is an old boys club, always has been. On the business side of it, coming from what I was doing in college and some other marketing firms before the Red Wings, I'm going to the Red Wings and I'm looking, and we didn't even have a CRM system when I started in 2012. Like, we were just on the cusp of implementing it. And there was just, like, sports does things 10 years in the past, right? That's what I've noticed. And so just processes, everyone's kind of stuck in their own little silo, and front offices, as you guys know, are pretty small. I mean, for a large organization, you only have 30 or 40 people actually on the business operations side running the entire thing. So, just bringing in new strategies and new techniques and processes that I got a lot of success with. Just as a sports fan, watching bad activations and bad sponsorships that just interrupt the experience, that just drives me crazy, because sponsorships can be the most powerful way to impact a potential consumer. And if you do it wrong, it can piss people off, right?
So is I like the tagline underneath
Yeah.
the playbook, right? So
Right.
you're continuing the sports theme. You got the X's and O's going. So who's the target for this?
The target
Who are
of
you
this,
trying to reach?
Yeah, any sports professional, anybody just interested in marketing best practices. Because what I do here is take industry best practices from the last 5-10 years and translate them into the world of sports for sports professionals, either on the buying side, companies like yourself that are sponsors, and how you can tailor your activations to resonate better with your audience, and then also for that small group of people actively working in sports properties. Just launching this book, I've actually had some crazy conversations with potential clients. You guys heard of the Ultimate Pillow Fighting Championship? It's a real thing.
Is it?
The Pillow Fighting Championships
Tell
are a
us
real
more.
thing. PFC.com if you want to look. So I don't.
I just want to see the highlights.
But yeah, just it was a potential client, didn't turn into anything. But it just goes to show that there are, new properties, new events out there, people selling sponsorships that might not, you guys, you put together a printer competition, right? And you have some of your vendors come out. That can be a sponsorable asset, right? Just anybody, any company out there can create sponsor activity or sponsor assets that can generate more revenue. So, giving
I
people
like
the
that.
playbook of how you do that. In the
So
best
talk
way.
about how that pillow fighting originated in East Lansing with the Spartan football program.
Oh boy.
We are definitely in Ann Arbor, Michigan, folks. This is no doubt about it.
He's a Buckeye.
Oh, really?
Yeah, see, we don't let
wow.
Ann Arbor because they cheat. But anyways, we'll go. We digress. Hey, here's what I wanted to talk about when I read this book, and,
Yes.
and it goes back to my first impressions of you when we met you, and I'll use the hockey because it was at the time at the Red Wings. I always appreciated it as a business person that's being sold to is that you got it. And I think you were a young guy there, and it's amazing how you got it at a young age. And I don't know if it was the leadership of Rob Kroll and some of those other folks, or it was just something you were built with, but you weren't trying to sell us an ad in a program like so many other people were. You weren't trying to sell us a sign on the dasher because you knew our company size and stuff like that. But you were looking, every conversation we had with you was how could you engage us to activate our customers? How could we get a return on that investment and the ROI, but the ROO on getting our customers? And I thought it was so refreshing, and that's what was exciting about working with you. Did you have that, or did you learn that?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that compliment. That was just in my DNA, and that's just when going to grad school, learning about sports business, but then actually taking that education, for my master's degree and putting it out in the workforce, and then just seeing the Red Wings. Not knocking them, but back in 2012, it was wine, dine, and sign. It was, if you saw Joe Louis Arena, if there was an inch of real estate to slap a company logo on, we were selling it. And it didn't matter what value it brought to the sponsor because it was just sell, 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 right? Mm-hmm. And so I think I brought in some type of, fresher influence, as we started to build LCA and, put together a more comprehensive strategy for our sponsors, that we have assets that we could package together to help, grow your business. Because at the end of the day, as a sponsor, if you're not seeing a return on your investment, why would you want to re-sign, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, just the nature of sports business has always been that old boys club, like I alluded to. So it was just wine, dine, and sign. Keep people happy, and they'll keep sending checks. But now, fast forward 20 years with more, with tighter marketing budgets, and COVID, just the world now. You need to show a marketing return on your investment as a company. So that's where I just preach in this book of, stop selling signage and sell solutions, right?
Yeah, solving problems.
Exactly. And that's what sponsorships, when done right, can be just tremendously effective. There's so much data to back that up.
So you get it, and I got to say, I hope Tom McInerney and
Tommy
with Rocket
Mortgage, and I miss Tom.
Lindsay
man.
and Matt
That's,
with the Lions.
Yeah.
Don't take your thing and run off and do their own stuff because they're like you and they get it, and I got to give them a shout out because it's very refreshing to work with those folks. They're professionals, and I think it's a compliment to you because you were one of the first ones we met.
Yeah, and I helped. I was with the PGA Tour and helped broker that. I know I wasn't on the sales side; I was on the strategy side. But with Tom McInerney and Matt Stepness, I thought you guys worked with, right?
Yeah, Matt was good, and Rob Kroll over there.
Rob Kroll is the man.
Is a pro, but
yeah,
you get it. And I think any business owner that is looking to do any type of sports advertising needs to read this book and help them get their thoughts on what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And
because it's not just pro. It's not just pro sports. I mean, any local soccer organization needs to have funding, right? Hockey teams, travel baseball programs. You can come up with different activations instead of just going out for a can drive, to raise money for Little Billy's baseball team, or selling discount cards or something. There's just more engaging ways you can go about it that benefit everybody.
Mm-hmm. Engage the community.
Exactly.
How transferable are these skills?
Very transferable. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm taking just best practice marketing strategies and tactics, and for this book specifically, translated them into the world of sports sponsorship. Mm-hmm. But just the marketing strategy, as Christine can attest to, is transferable for anything. I mean, that's why I went from sports to being the CMO of a software startup.
Yeah.
In real estate investing has nothing to do with sports, but the skills, the processes, the strategy,
principles,
it's all the same, right?
Got it.
So if you got your ducks in a row, you can translate it to pretty much any industry.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Now, see, I was expecting you to say something about Joe, because I think you learned a lot of this from Joe hanging around him.
He taught me everything I know.
Because he approaches it the same way with his customers, and I think that's what makes you guys sales professionals, is that
you don't sell products, you sell solutions. That's business these days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how do you ROI something like that? You'd mentioned that's a key component.
It is a key component. There is no Kelly Blue Book of sponsorship or marketing asset. So there's no standard. There's industry accepted methods that you go about, and so there's different analytics. I actually have my own proprietary analysis system that I've run through. It just takes in all the marketing data and puts values on different things.
Have you got a cool name for it yet?
Over my system?
Yeah. You got to kind of package it and bundle
Snag ROI? I don't know.
Yeah,
I should.
That one.
No, I mean, so one of my clients right now, I'll give them a shout out.
Snag-a-roni.
Yeah, right.
Snag-a-roni. one of my clients with Snag Business right now, they're called Giant Helmet. So go check them out, gianthelmet.com. They make the giant helmets you see at Ford Field, at Lions games, at Comerica, at the Red
That's
Wings.
cool.
So we're going in the process of right now. We're working with the Lions, the Detroit Lions. We have we just released that new giant blue helmet.
Yeah.
Their retro helmet from this year, the throwback helmet.
Cool.
So now we're actually building a third one that will debut. I don't know if I can tell exactly what it is.
We don't want to get shot.
Yeah, I know. November 19th is the launch date for our third giant helmet at Ford Field. So be on the lookout for that.
Wow.
Oh, good.
But yeah, things are going great.
So how do you cost justify the expense, build the business plan?
For sponsorships?
Yeah, around giant helmets is an example.
Yeah, I mean, it's all...
Because I look at it, you go to the game, it's cool, they
Right.
run out of it, they got it in the big, but like, how can you attach an ROI?
Well, the value proposition for that is threefold, right? Because you talk about sponsorships, it's not just a one-to-one relationship, it's the company, the sponsor, and the fans. So you have to consider all three audiences in a sponsorship, right? So for Giant Helmet, for example, it enhances the fan from the fan standpoint. It enhances their experience. It creates a photo
cool,
op. It's
right?
cool. You get to have a lasting memory with that picture. From the team perspective, it brings awareness. It brings that value to the fan. But also, you could brand the stand. You could put signage behind it. You could have it be part of a sponsor activation.
Do the video game with 3 of the helmets. Running
Exactly.
around?
Like you could do. You can create. There's countless ways that you can turn that into a sponsorable asset. So right now, with Giant Helmet, we've done a helmet for Belleville High School and for Oxford High School.
Oh, cool.
We donated one for Oxford to benefit 42 Strong, the charity for the shooting victims. And we just debuted that one opening night this year for Oxford High School. So we are developing a fundraising platform around the state of Michigan that we have a partner to help collect donations, but the genesis of it is that schools can fundraise for their own giant helmet by tapping into local sponsors to sponsor whether it's signage
cool.
on the
That's
base.
unique.
Yeah.
It's better than the thing on the fence.
Right. Exactly.
Right,
So
gotcha.
it's a unique piece. You can either put plaques for individual families that want to donate $20-$30, or you put a big, UTEC logo on the side of it and to cover the cost of the helmet.
What
and
about
then
Kevin's head?
Oh,
Can we
we-
just put his face right on the side of it?
We could
That would
put,
look good.
yeah, that would look good.
UTEC.
Kevin one side, less than the other. Joe
Well,
on
hold
the
on a
back.
second,
Yeah, I like where we're
we're
going
getting
here.
out of hand.
I can talk to my designer. We work with a art graphic
Talk about wanting
designer.
to hit it.
We work with a graphic designer up in Toronto, actually, that does a lot of goalie masks. So that's where the genesis of Giant Helmet came from.
That's cool. Is there anybody else doing giant helmets like that?
No.
No, wow.
There's some company. I mean, it's essentially just a fiberglass mold, so anybody could do it. But with
say
Yeah, right.
anybody can, sure, go ahead, go try it. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But I think the artwork is what takes it to the next level.
Yeah.
Having that,
No, I recognize him.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, we're going to be at the game, so we're going to be looking for the giant helmet.
Right.
We'll be excited about that.
Yeah.
But so, Guy has COVID, has a kid, and finds time to write a book while he's starting a brand new business. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You were pretty busy dude, huh?
I've been busy. Since the last
So
saw you
we
guys.
got a second book coming out?
Yeah, I actually have plans to write 3. So it'll be a 3-part series. This will be my sports marketing book. The next one would be talking about specifically starting up a SaaS startup as a marketer and all the business development and crazy things you have to go through to hook that up. And then, third part will probably just be talking about different stories. This was more of a playbook. Didn't really get into some of the interesting stories, meeting with the Illich family and some other crazy things that happened along the way.
So on the second book,
Yes.
I don't care what business you're in right now, you're going through a digital transformation.
Yes.
I mean, you cannot avoid it. It's do it or go bye-bye.
Right.
There's a lot happening right now in technology. Do you see, I mean, if you were to look around the corner, a year or two down the road, what do you see in terms of adaptation,
Yeah.
for the marketing engine, if you will?
Well, I think AI is just creating so many boundless opportunities for any company. I think specifically for marketing, I can see in the next 5 years or so, augmented reality just really taking off. Because I'm just putting it in the context of our
So
reels.
come back to the AI piece,
Yeah.
because right now, you just got a lot of people. You got like the Writers Guild going on strike, right?
Right.
'Cause they're freaked out, right?
Right.
So you also have copywriters in marketing, right? And so a lot of copy is now being done.
Right.
A lot of PowerPoint presentations. Kevin and myself were at an event in January, I think it was, or February, and the guy was presenting on stage, and he said, "Oh, by the way, my whole PowerPoint slide was generated through ChatGPT," right?
Yeah.
And that I think that guy is a copier guy, right? He
Yeah.
wasn't.
Wasn't the most tech savvy guy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so, so where do you see that? Because you got what, geolocation now,
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening.
Yeah, I think right now it just hasn't. Augmented reality, AI, geolocate. I mean, all these advanced strategies just haven't taken the forefront of marketers on on a local level. I mean, we're talking high level. I mean, being a CMO of a software startup, I need to be plugged into all these things, but other companies aren't even. It's not even on their radar yet. So I think in the next 5 years or so, a lot of these different technologies will just be more accepted and widely available. And with AI,
Do you really think it's 5 years?
I think 5 years. Yeah.
Not 24 months, 18 months?
Oh, I'm just saying it could be sooner. Yes.
Yeah.
5 years from now, I think the world of business will be dramatically different. I think COVID's kind of forced companies to take a look at what they're doing and processes and strategies, and just kind of going away from how things have always been done and kind of thinking, okay, how should we do things, right? Like I know you guys have pivoted more into like the cybersecurity and the IT space, and I think that's brilliant, right? We talk about marketing myopia. That was always a.
You think there's big things coming November 19th with the giant helmet?
Yeah.
Hang tight on some big things we got coming with the cybersecurity and some of our partners we're about to introduce.
Can't wait to hear. Can't wait. But talking about like marketing myopia was a white paper written back in the 40s or 50s about like the railroad industry and why railroad companies went under. And it wasn't because people didn't need transportation, it's because they thought of themselves as railroad companies, right?
Yeah.
But when a new technology, if they would have thought themselves as a transportation company, they would have been the ones building, innovating the car and building the roads, not just trying to say, no, this is how things are done, right? So that just overarching theory, strategy, I think just plays into every business. You have to know what business you're in, right, to satisfy your customers. So like you guys, hats off to you. I think that was a brilliant pivot or, extension of your brand and your company. And so, I'd be looking, if I was a business owner, I would just constantly be thinking about what's next, how should I be doing things, and then how can that change? Because, we're in a very fast changing world these days with technology.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, we're going to wait for you to write your second book. We got to get you back here.
Sounds great.
I want a free copy, so I don't have to pay for it.
You got
so
it.
we'll invite you back so you can give me a free copy. But when you're not making a bunch of money for people in sports marketing or a SaaS startup, you're not writing a book, you're not being a dad, you sit down and have that little bourbon, what do you reach for?
Ooh, I was just talking with my wife, Carissa, about this the other day. Weller is probably I like a wheated bourbon.
Okay.
Like a Weller. Like Four Roses. A Four Roses small batch select. That's what I've been gravitating toward. That brown bottle. That's been good lately. That's been my daily drinker.
Nice.
Wow.
Daily.
Just regular drinker.
Let's toast to your
Hey,
success.
well, guys, thanks
Congratulations
for
on the
having
book,
me.
and thank you for your work.
I appreciate it,
Yes,
guys.
sir.